It's Interesting Ideas. The weekend edition, a little more thoughtful and reflective, and we're going to start that right now.
Hello, once again, this is Stan Houston, and we're here for What It Takes Radio. And we are also involved in our own podcasting program, and one of them is called Interesting Ideas. That's exactly what it's about. Interesting people with interesting ideas. We're also beginning another program which is simply called More Power to You. And it is very simple. You have to learn how to pray if you want to be successful today. That's the deal, and we'll try and demonstrate why we believe that and how perhaps you can accomplish that. But as I go through this stage of my life, in a recent move, I had to take a lot of my old stuff and decide which stuff I was going to keep and what stuff I was going to give away and throw away, and maybe see if I could sell a little bit of it. That's a good exercise, and in doing so, I happened to come across a piece of paper which I wrote a number of years ago, and I can't even remember what it was for. I don't know if this was a radio script, a video script, or a blog, but may I just share it with you because I found out I need this, and you know what? You do too, particularly right now in this age of podcasting. I wrote at that time, "Your genius." Today I want to challenge you to seek your genius and then to choose your media channel and platform. I also want to remind you to seek to be fully alive every day. So, here we go. Demonstrate your genius. Now, we oftentimes say to people is delegate everything but your genius, but then make sure that you demonstrate your genius. You have a genius in you somewhere. And I remember it. I picked up an old book one time in a library while I was just going around and killing a little bit of time waiting for a client appointment. And it was a series of essays by the writer Thomas Carlyle. Now, the reason I went to the book was because it was really one of those old-fashioned books, that you sometimes see. So I picked it up, and it was fragile, and the date was 1869. I glanced through it, and almost by providence, I came upon a statement that struck me deeply. And see, I've come to understand that these epiphany times are not mere coincidences in my life. It's happened too many times. Books are just there, and I pick them up. They almost seem to talk to me, and all of a sudden I find something new right there. Carlyle was writing about the poet Robert Burns, who lived a short and sad life. He said of Burns, "All that remains of Burns, the writings he has left, seem to us as no more than a poor, mutilated faction of what was in him, brief, broken glimpses of a genius that could never show itself." At that time, I remember I put the book down and thought, oh my God, what a sad thing to say about a person. All that remains. Brief, broken glimpses of a genius that could never show itself. So here's my question. I oftentimes ask my clients this question. If you were a genius, and you might be, how would your genius best be expressed? Now, this is important. You might have some God-graced genius in you, but because of life, work, distractions, and all that other stuff, it might never be expressed. You might die with your deep genius deep inside of you. Please don't do that. End of message. Deal with it and do something about it. Then I just added this little note. This is serious. You need to start capturing and demonstrating your wisdom, insight, and truth to others. Please do so. And here's what I can do for you. Come up with some media strategy for promoting yourself, your work, your unique ability, maybe even your genius. You have to write, speak, produce audio programs, maybe even do a video. Well, that's now what I do. I'm hopefully using some of the genius that I have, and I express it in very many ways through the very media. But I'd like to help you do that too. I would like you to be able to express your genius so that someone might say, well, they had such wisdom and insight, and now it's gone. And for all we know, they had a whole lot more genius inside of them, and it's now gone too. Don't do that. I'm not claiming that everything I do is genius, but who knows? It might have some truth and wisdom for people later on. And now, thanks to the modern media and through both the glories and the travesty of the internet, whatever you say could last a long, long time. So make sure you always know that in life the microphone is always on, and whatever you do and whatever you say it well and be kind to one another. Just do that. But there I go. That's my challenge to you. I'd like you to think about that. I'd like you to give it some real reflection. You may have genius inside of you. And if you do, how would you then express it? How would you let people perhaps know who you are and what you believe and what you do? And you just simply say, here's an idea for your thought and consideration. I'm going into the twilight zone now, and I may disappear, but perhaps some of my wisdom, insight, and truth, and my good stories, maybe my sense of humor, my trust in God, will be carried on to be shared with others. Just do it. Do it now. Make it so. I'm Stan Houston. I can help you. Best and blessings to you, and bye for now.